months ago because of some stupid decisions. Made a lot of money, lost it all. You know, cashing in change at the Coinstar machine in the front of Winn-Dixie. Yeah, you know that machine too, don't you? You all know the machine, but he only had the courage to so cashing in some coins to go buy some sandwich meat and some loaf of bread, right? So I was broke 18 months ago, and now I'm not. And some of you guys have been broke, and I tell you that you can be on this stage in Denver, and you want it, but you say, oh yeah, let's park there for a second. Who's going to be on stage in Denver? Very cool. All right, I'm going to look for you, every one of you. And it will be a big stage. It'll hold a ton of people. But some of you want it, and if I ask you, you believe you can have it, it's kind of like, well, I believe it. I believe someone can have it. I believe people like me. I believe some people that are sort of like me can have it. But I've got my precious little excuse that all the reasons it worked for you won't really work for me. Well, of course, Tony, you can do it because you've got that sexy Southern accent. I don't have that, you know. Or like Vic, who has an unpronounceable last name. I don't know how to say his last name. And maybe that's why he's like, you know, he makes $1 million in the last sentence I've been talking, you know. I saw him in the dressing room backstage, he just twitched his little finger and $1 million came. I couldn't show you that, man. But like, we do that. Isn't it amazing that, now, let me show this to you too. How many parents we got in the room? Yeah, now kids are awesome. Agree, kids are awesome. All right. Now, how many people in the room were once a kid? Wait a minute now, where's everybody that just said kids are awesome? Kids are awesome. Kids have got it all figured out. Most of what we teach in personal development is actually just trying to get all the crap out that we didn't have when we were 5 and 6. Agreed? Like, let me share this with you. I'm not being funny. I promise you I'm not being funny. The hardest thing that you'll ever do in your life, you've already done it. And I'll give you a couple of examples. And I'm not being funny, but it's funny when you think about it. When I watched my youngest son, Easton, I was in a much better place financially when he was born. I was home. I could really kind of experience his learning more so than when Will and Peyton were younger. We were broke. I went home a lot. But with Easton, I had the opportunity to watch some of the really cool stuff that happens with children in those early stages of development. I've been watching Chris Campbell's little boy walking around, and Mike Cobb's little fella. It's so wonderful to see the kids here, by the way. But imagine how hard that is. Like, I know you can't think back, but like, remember, you don't remember, but it's like, you see all these people walking around on 2 legs, but you're like crawling around, and you're like, how do they, and you're like, well, I want to do that. And you get up on your feet, and you fall over on your big padded diaper butt, right? And you look around, and you go again. And when do you stop? You've never seen like an 18-year-old still wearing diapers sitting in the living room. We're badass. We're designed to be unstoppable, you know? We just don't have any witnessing. You know, we just do it. You sit at the table, and it's a little frustrating because you look around, and here's all these grown-ups talking and eating and doing all this, and you're like, this is advanced physics, trying to get a Cheerio in your mouth. You know, it's because it's like, you think about what you got to do. You got to get the Cheerio on the spoon. Well, first off, you got to hold the spoon with the right side up, and then get the Cheerio on the spoon and balance it, and then you got to get your mouth open at the same time that the Cheerio is here. This is a big deal. Or language, learning. How many people here can speak more than one language? Right? Okay, good. Cool. I speak English and Southern English. But here's the deal. It's like, that scared me. I just got a glimpse again of it. What is God? It's following me. But like language, like you hear these people talking, you know how complicated that is to actually figure out how to put some sounds together in a way that you can tell somebody else that you need a little bit of something more in your sippy cup? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And with a very few exception of you, I think all of us have conquered those three things. Right? I promise you, the hardest things you've ever done, you've already done. And we don't give ourselves credit because at some point we run into this thing of, you get up to about 6 or 7, and naturally there's a need for some organizational structure, and we have parents and teachers, and we have people that, you know, they're guiding us. We can't just be unbridled chasing butterflies. We got to kind of focus a little bit. But we also run into the flip side of that coin is, you know, get your head out of the clouds. You know, come on back down to earth. You know, you're not going to be, that sounds like somebody opened the Coke. Who did that? Can I have a sip of that later? Okay. But like seriously, like, you know, all of a sudden around 6 or 7, we get our wings flipped a little bit, don't we? And even if it's not done deliberately by, say, an authority figure, you get around peer groups where the status quo is the chief aim. Don't set the bar too high. You know, fit in, keep your head down. It's rather insidious, actually. It robs us of our power. You see these kids and they become 7 years old and 10 years old and 15 and 20 and their whole focus seems basically to not stand out. And they've somehow bought the BS that they can't be, do, and have what they want in life because they're restricted to this thing. And you see it all the time. It's like, well, why would I go try out for that play? I'm no good at that. They'll just laugh at me. Or why would I go ask that girl out? She's way out of my league. But I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Hey, you want to hear how I met Jessica real quick? So here's how I met Jessica. It was in the theater. I took theater in school, and Jessica was at this play. Awful, god-awful play. Just wretched. And so I'm standing in the lobby, and there's now pay attention closely, there's a guy and a girl in the ticket booth. And this girl comes out of the auditorium, and I'm pretty sure it's not quite how it went, but in my mind, she sort of floated like a sort of a flower on the wind, floated over to the ticket booth, and I'm just like, I'm like that cartoon wolf that's, you know, little hearts, you know, and I'm like, oh my God, so talk, and then she leaves, and I float over to the ticket window, and now there's a guy and a girl in the ticket booth, and I'm like, who was that? I'm in love. And the girl in the booth starts cracking up, and I said, why are you laughing? She said, that's his girlfriend. Be deterred, I decided to go into stealth mode. And so I waited about 15 minutes and I eased backstage, and there she was, standing in the wings. And I laid one of the smoothest lines in the world. Here's what I did. So I walk up, she's like right there, and I walk up. Not like that, really. You're Jessica Donaldson, aren't you? And she said, yes. And I said, cool. But we get that stuff, right? It's like, how am I going to get this girl? Why? She wouldn't go out with me. I would never get that part. And we sell ourselves so short when there's something amazing about you. You're powerful. You really can do what we're talking about all weekend. You can have the life you want. You can have it. You can have it. You can have it. So, 2 quick things and I'm done. I love you guys. more than I've ever loved any group of people. I love seeing you. I love looking in your eyes. I love hearing about your goals. I'm so excited that so many of you have come up to me in the lobby and said, I will be in Denver. You'll see me. I will look you in the eye and say, I made it. Who's going to do that?
That's right, Tony.
That's cool. As a matter of fact, would you guys like to get a little taste of Denver? Just 40 seconds. Just a few seconds of Denver real quick. We have a video clip. Let's roll that real quick so you guys can get a glimpse of it.